I mean, this game is on me, you know. Two bad, stupid decisions by me. The last two possessions shouldn't happen, you know. By far, it's my worst defensive game this year for sure.
We almost never hear a player be so honest about how he played, especially on defense. Which begs the question, is he right? Did he have the worst defensive game of the season? Is he overweight, out of shape, slower than he needs to be? Let's take a deep dive into his defensive possessions against OKC to find out. I think it's a good idea to start with the good stuff first. On this slip of the pick and roll, Luka correctly rotates over as the lowest man and contests this dunk into a miss. Good help defense doesn't always mean the offense doesn't score. After the double team in the baseline, he moves into position, avoids the foul by utilizing verticality for a very good contest, but Lu Dort finishes strong with touch. Here's perfect weak side positioning, splitting the difference between the two players in the wing and the corner, and then reads Bazley's eyes for a nice steal. He does the old fake taking the charge but then stealing the dribble instead, but watch how difficult it appears for him to get going into the other direction after the loose ball. This comes up later. The Thunder started targeting Luka for good reason in the second half, but give the Slovenian some credit for moving his feet, taking the contact, falling down since of course you can't get a charge unless you fall, and it's a turnover. And as we get midway through the fourth, they again have Dort attack Doncic, who keeps him in front and is able to contest this jumper into a miss. The thing about defense is sometimes you get away with bad defense when the offense fails to capitalize. It might go down as a success in the box score, but it could also be a warning sign for things to come. It was clear OKC's scouting report told their players to go at Luka when they got the chance, and Josh Giddey catches Luka with the bad reach-in, forcing full rotations where you'd normally see a dump-off for a dunk, but this is OKC, folks. Now, Luka tries to recover, and this is some interesting back-to-the-ball defense. They're willing to let Dort shoot it, but because of how the defense was compromised initially, it directly leads to a wide-open corner three, and OKC makes them pay. Luka's footwork on defense can be suboptimal, as they again force him to switch onto a quicker ball handler. Doncic is slow reacting, heavy on his feet, and ultimately gives 5 feet of space on this jumper that happens to miss. And the biggest red flag to me are his closeouts. After correctly bumping down to the roll man, it's his job to get out to the perimeter, but letting Kenrich Williams blow by him this easily? Luckily the spacing was terrible for OKC and Dallas could get the steal, but can you hear me shaking my head? There are lots of reasons for why Luka is struggling defensively, and I can tell you one thing, if you don't keep your eye on the ball, you won't stop anybody. And it goes without saying that if you don't keep your eyes on your balls, you won't score either. So maybe the reason for Luka not moving quickly enough is because he's not using Manscape's performance package. You can play better defense by keeping things tidy both on your face and in your more sensitive areas. Their Lawnmower 4.0 is cordless and waterproof, so you can use it in the shower with very easy cleanup. But Manscape's performance package has tons more. Their Weed Whacker defends you all up in your face, sending those annoying nose and ear hairs back into the stands. And the Crop Reviver has cooling aloe vera to keep your balls fresh and turnover free. Just like on the court, you simply don't want to fumble the balls. If you use my code, not only can I get you 20% off your order, but I'll tell Manscaped to give you 2 free gifts for a limited time. The Shed Travel Bag and Anti-Chafing Boxer Briefs. I wear these all the time, and I wouldn't trust anything else next to my performance package. So click on the link below, use my code BBALL, and you'll see why Luka needs Manscaped to clean up his on-ball defense. While guarding Giddey, he's in decent position, bouncing on his toes, but then loses sight of his man as the ball is driven middle, and Giddey gets behind him for the nice handoff and wide open layup. Instead of staying in front of the driver, he tries to meekly reach in and then gets pushed under the hoop. Could have been an offensive foul, but watch how slow he is to recover to his man, and Giddey makes him pay with the wide open push shot. More evidence that the entire team was told to just go at Luka off the dribble, and I just don't like these body mechanics moving backwards. His balance is off, too many small steps, and it directly leads to a blocking foul on the drive. They do it again in the second quarter, and he's blown by instantly, leading to a foul on the Mavericks when the rotations behind Luka get compromised by such a quick straight line drive. Late in the third, he does the Bush League attempt at taking a charge against the big man who's just jogging down the court. The refs certainly don't give it to him, and that forces a switch and a closeout. Now, this should have been a travel when man drags his left foot before the ball leaves his hand, but hey, stuff happens, and you can't just quit on the play like Luka did here. This is definitely the part of the game Luka was referring to when he said he had his worst defensive game of the season, and heck, perhaps of his career. He gets caught ball watching, fakes himself out into the lane, then has a long closeout to recover, is instantly blown by, but then doesn't keep pursuing the ball, which directly leads to Giddey being free to toss in another shot from 8 feet. With under 4 minutes to go, down 6, they again isolate Luka against a good ball handler. With a simple crossover, Luka hops back an extra 2 feet and surrenders a good look to Giddey from 13 feet out. With just over a minute left, Luka does a good job to hold his position on the baseline, but then overruns the closeout badly, forcing Finney Smith to cover for him, which leads to his man wide open to the free throw line to hit the easy jumper. And this one had to hurt. After 5 straight points to put the Mavericks firmly in control of their own destiny, just watch Giddey give the slightest of looks to Williams on the weak side. Luka absolutely blows his positioning and sight of the ball, allowing the one thing you absolutely cannot allow, the back cut for the layup to tie the game. But the end of regulation meant 5 more minutes and 4 more bad defensive possessions from Luka. He assumes his man is going to hand the ball off to Dort coming across, so Williams just turns the corner right by him for an open pseudo dunk. On this catch, he's immediately out of position but does manage to recover, so the Thunder just force that same switch to allow Dort to go at him. And it's one thing to let Dort shoot early in the game and see how that goes, and it's another when the guy is now 4 for 7 from 3 in a tie game in overtime. This one might have been the worst, and we can blame Brunson for not switching, but without any communication at all, it gives Dort a clean drive into the lane where the defense is forced to foul. And to cap it off, yet one more ISO on him from out top, and there is simply no way Luka could ever step slide laterally quickly enough to stay in front of Dort, who gets right by him so fast, no one is there to rotate and the Mavericks never recover. So yeah, this had to have been Luka's worst defensive game of the season, if not his career, and what makes me concerned is that he just doesn't look like he's in shape. I suppose he's still got time to do so before the playoffs, but there's also the issue of his movement pattern and footwork in general, things that don't get fixed without a focused offseason dedicated to improving them. And you can bet going forward that teams will hunt Luka out on defense and mercilessly go after him. Unless Jason Kidd can figure out something real quick, this will be a thing that holds the Mavericks back in the playoffs.